Welcome back to News Centre. Senators and members of Parliament from the ICT Committee converge in Eldoret for a two-day event to discuss the digital literacy program. Our reporter Elvis Koskei joins us with more details on this forum. Elvis, good morning. A lot of questions to be asked about the digital literacy program, especially after the government suspended the issuance of tablets to Class 1 pupils. What more do you have for us?
Thank you very much, Michelle. Yes, you are here to establish the gain and the status of the digital literacy program. With me, we have several MPs and also senators from the National Assembly. And just to paint a picture, I'll be speaking to the chairperson of Education Committee in Parliament, just to paint a picture if they have any challenges that they have experienced so far and how many schools they intend to visit here in Uasin Gishu County.
Okay, thank you very much. We are here as the Senate and the National Assembly on a facts-finding mission. Digital literacy program started within the Vision 2030, and the government has invested a lot of money in it, yet we've been receiving a lot of complaints from the citizens. So we would like to know exactly through the process. We want to start from the manufacturers or the processors of these particular digital devices, and then we shall go to the implementation, we shall go up to the classroom, so that we see the value for money, that is the value for the taxpayers' money. We want to know the challenges that is facing this particular program. First time I say that this is a very important program. For us to realize a digital economy in future, which is a paradigm shift driving the world currently, we must begin from making our children digital compliant. So we are serious as the Senate and the National Assembly in finding facts on what the challenges are, whatever is happening in this particular process, so that we may know exactly what is happening. So that is our mission right from here. We want to be briefed here by the university. We are very much impressed by the university, by the way. For whatever we have seen, they are doing a great work. So this is the beginning, and then we shall go to the implementation. We shall see also the government monitoring processes, so that we may know exactly where the problem is. That is our mission.
Maybe what's the relationship between the executive and the legislature? I understand that at some point the progress and the process was put to a halt. Us as the executive, their work has to do with implementation of the government programs, while as we legislate, we make laws that provide framework to guide implementation, and we are also the ones budgeting and providing money for them, and above all, we are the oversight authority of this particular country. The National Assembly and the Senate does the oversight work, and we are now in a process of collecting facts, in a process of oversighting this particular problem, so that we may know if the taxpayers' money has value in digital literacy in this country. Yeah. Thank you very much. Let's also hear from the National Assembly. Do you know the progress so far?
Thank you. My name is Erastus Kivasonzioka, Member of Parliament from Mboni. We are here today to understand exactly where the digital literacy program is today, the challenges that are being faced, especially during the implementation. And our main concern is especially on these equipments handling from the schools, where they are stored, how they are stored, and how they are being used. To me, I understand the DLP is a very good project, flagship project for the government, and the way it was set and being implemented is going to give competence to our juniors, our students, so that as they grow up, they understand exactly how ICT is being used, how it can benefit. We also need to see the heavy challenges that we can address as we legislate and as we provide the budgets for this program.
Any challenges you've encountered so far? I understand some areas are vast, like Turkana County and the Elgeyo Marakwet County, where they've been experiencing challenges.
The main challenge, especially I can say even from down my side, Boni, is lack of power. We have talked about electrification all through, but many of the areas, they don't have power. While we are implementing these projects, we are looking at it from areas where there is no power, it can't go. So we need to distribute ourselves and provide the initial basics for this project to be able to move.
Let's also hear from a lady here for gender balance.
Okay, thank you. The one reason why we are here again today is what has been spoken by my fellow members of parliament. But again, it will be an opportunity for us as members of parliament to also visit various schools to see exactly what is happening and to find out the challenges that they are facing, and maybe to hear from them so that if there is anything that relates to policy that we need to do as parliamentarians, we go back to maybe formulate a kind of legislation that will make the program successful.
Okay, before we hear from the Vice Chancellor, Moi University, let's also hear from you.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. I want to say that this is a very important forum, because as legislators will be taken through on digital literacy. But my concern as a senator representing persons with disabilities and in the education committee, I would be interested in knowing what exactly is the input for learners with disabilities, because I know for sure what is happening on the ground is that learners with disabilities do not have content at all. Even as programs are being rolled out for special needs, nothing has been done, and the government seems to be maybe sluggish or not really aware on all learners with disabilities. So I'm interested in knowing how will they benefit in the era of literacy, digital literacy, and especially even learners with who are deaf and hard of hearing, because on the ground they have challenges. And I'll be very candid as a as a legislator to say that nothing much has been done. So what is this program doing with regard to these learners? Thank you.
Thank you very much. With me, I also have Professor Isaac Sanga Kosgei, the Vice Chancellor of Moi University. You've heard from Madam that also people living with a disability have a problem maybe in encountering the whole process. Maybe as the Vice Chancellor of Moi University, any progress so far and challenges that you've encountered as an institution?
Yeah, thanks, Elvis. The first thing that I want to say is that we are glad today, this morning, to have the members of Parliament from both houses, the Senate and the National Assembly, to look at what we are doing as Moi University with our partners and other stakeholders in regard to the digital literacy program. I must say, Moi University, we are doing very well in supplying, assembling and supplying the devices to schools. We've already done, in the first instance, over 13,000 schools, both in western part of Kenya and also in the coastal region, where we got 14 counties. In western part of Kenya, 12 counties. And again, we're moving forward to, that's about 90% of the supply. We're moving forward to complete the 10% which is ongoing at the moment at the assembly line. And I must confirm to the Parliamentary Committee on ICT and Education that we as Moi University, we are up to the task in assembling and supplying the devices, and we'll be visiting the factory shortly after the presentations that we're going to make. And again, we are looking at various challenges that we've gone through right from the inception of the program till now. And I must assure everybody that as the university, we are ready. And indeed, recently we signed a contract to supply also devices for the upcoming national census in August, which we are going to start in the next 2 weeks. And yesterday we also bidded, actually today, for a tender for the supply of devices for the second phase of the digital literacy program, where they're going to establish labs in schools. And we're going to make sure that we deliver just the way we've delivered this one. And again, we are ongoing with talks with Telkom to supply devices for the constituency ICT innovation hubs that are going to be rolled out. And I must say we have positioned ourselves properly as a university to make sure that we are actually in ICT proper. apart from, of course, from the other 3 agenda of government in the before agenda. Okay. So we are happy, and we are glad to, go through with our members of parliament of the process that we've gone through up to this point in time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lastly, let's hear from West Pokot County. You've heard from Member of Parliament from Mbooni and also former Minister of Information, and he cited lack of power. In West Pokot County, have you encountered any challenges so far?
Well, first of all, I speak also on behalf of the ICT committee in the Senate, and we are concerned about the technology itself and about the achievement of literacy, digital literacy. Mm-hmm. We have come a long way. I want to say 2 things. One, as we celebrate the 100% areas, there are challenges in the bottom, several counties that are not achieving 100%, West Pokot being one of them. Challenges of insecurity, but also challenges of power, lack of power. And for most part, we have not yet reached a point where we can say that ICT is an equalizer, which is supposed to be. And so let us not only work towards achieving the 100% in the easier to do areas, let us find out how we can work to achieve 100% in the areas that we are, hitherto considered as difficult. This is our country, and we must be one. And this is also going to help in the challenges that are in those countries. Where there are no teachers, where there are not enough classrooms, ICT can fill the gaps. ICT can help in enhancing the education in those areas. And so I do really want us to focus. It's not the problem of the manufacturer. The manufacturer can produce. The content can be there. But now the government of Kenya must find a way of getting to those children, making them equal with other children. And I think that's the biggest issue that we have to deal with.
Okay. Thank you very much, Michelle. That was Samuel Progisho, Senator, West Pokot County. You had also engaged several MPs and senators from here in Uasin Gishu County. Of course, they are here for the status and gains of the digital literacy program.